By the armies. I did not quite follow or understand.
Not a Pax Americana.
Racism has been compared to a virus that is always altering its appearance in order to adapt to its shifting surroundings. As a result, several definitions of racism have been proposed. Some say it is an ideology that asserts a sense of intellectual or moral superiority based on the outward manifestations of a person's racial identity, and comprises a readiness to discriminate on the basis of a supposed biological hierarchy of different races, with certain races being viewed as being higher up on the ladder than others. And some say racism is a product of ignorance, fear, and hate. When we look at the racism of the British Raj in India, the British rulers saw their Indian subjects as lower than subhuman and behaved accordingly. British people who lived in various regions of India formed their own private societies for themselves. In addition, the British people resided in areas that were specifically delimited for those with white skin, and no native people were permitted to access those areas. For instance, the habitation area in Calcutta was specifically separated into two halves, known as the black regions and the white areas, in a clear attempt to discriminate between the people of Indian descent and those of European descent. It was strictly forbidden for any person with dark complexion to access the zones that had been designated only for those with lighter skin. They went as far as putting up signs that said, "Dogs and Indian are not allowed." Now a similar occurrence has occurred in South Korea, and in a video that was released by Raj Vatsa to his YouTube channel, we can see very clearly that a club in South Korea put up a sign that says men from Pakistan and India do not obey the rules, and as a result, they are not allowed to enter their store. Please take a moment to watch this video clip before we go on.
The video, I sue you! I sue you! I sue you! I sue you! What is the difference? What is the difference? What?
When Raj Vatsa went out on the town in Busan with friends who had traveled to meet him from New Delhi, he had no way of knowing that later that night he would wind up becoming the newest chapter in South Korea's national discussion over issues of race and inclusion. It's not that just one club wouldn't let them in. In his video, Vatsa can be heard saying that he and his companions went to all of the local clubs that night, and none of them gave them entry. Even Vatsa's wife, who is of Korean descent, was embarrassed after seeing the signs that said that people of Indian heritage were not permitted. This isn't a new story, that foreigners are often refused access to South Korean pubs. Non-Koreans are often barred from public places because of their nationality. A lady from Uzbekistan was denied entry to a public bathhouse in Busan in 2011 because workers feared she would make the water unclean. In 2013, a Seoul pub denied non-Koreans since its employees didn't speak English. And in 2017, Kisley Kumar, along with his friends, was stopped by a bouncer who refused to let him in. In a video that was taken of the incident, a bouncer can be heard saying, "No Indians." In South Korea, this kind of prejudice has been institutionalized and accepted by society at large. Even though there was a sign posted by the club owner that made it quite evident that the club was a racist establishment, not a single South Korean attempted to help Raj Vatsa. It seems that the majority of people are okay with the prejudice that is directed on the people of India. On the other hand, Korean YouTube Myochi, when she was making a video blog about Mumbai and the car area, two locals then misbehaved with her. During her live session, a man was caught on camera coming up close to her. He then followed her on a bike with a friend. After the video went viral, the two men, Mohammed Sheikh and Muhammad Naqib Sadriala Mansari were arrested for allegedly molesting the YouTuber during a live stream. The car police filed a complaint and arrested both of them. Police told that they had not received any complaint from the concerned, but took to proceed in regard of the incident on their own and began a probe. Someone who was watching her live stream was already aware of what had taken place. He rushed over to assist her and pleaded with the onlookers to leave her alone. The government of India, the police, and even the netizens all showed their support for her, and one of the netizens even went so far as to say that the whole city is watching her channel and no one would dare to come near her with harmful intentions. Indians are like that, in general. I am not suggesting that you will not find problematic members of society in India. After all, every country has them. Similarly, I am not suggesting that all Koreans are racist. It is impossible to generalize a population like that. However, speaking up against unfairness should be an integral part of the guiding principles of any community. It is not a good idea to generalize about a country based on a few incidents. If we are talking about the people of Pakistan, then they have a very poor image across the world. Nations such as Turkey and those in the Middle East want them expelled from their countries. As a result, Pakistanis sometimes pretend to be Indians in order to avoid being discriminated against. When Indians move to other countries, they do so with the intention of working hard and sending money back to their families in India. This is one of the reasons why there is such a low incidence of crime among Indians living in other countries, and why they send such large amounts of money back home. This year, Indians who live and work abroad are expected to send home more money than ever before. A report from the World Bank says that the amount of money sent to India from abroad is likely to grow by 12% from one year to the next to $100 billion. Being an Indian and seeing those boards about India made me feel very depressed, since it brought back the painful history of our country's colonial past, when the British erected those boards, saying that dogs and Indians were not allowed.